Hello and welcome. My name is Rashi Mogha and I'm your host for this Empowered Women of the World podcast. This podcast is for you, it is for me, and it is for all women who want to take charge of their career and happiness. In this podcast, we'll talk about technology, we'll talk about leadership, and we will talk about mindfulness. We'll talk about how you can discover, visualize, and actualize your success, whatever that means to you. We will also talk about our common opponent, the conscious and unconscious bias, which we deal with on a daily basis. And we'll share ways to navigate work politics. At the end of each podcast, I will share with you a tip or a resource that you can use to be successful. It's going to be a fun ride, so hop on and join me on this journey. Before we start today's podcast, I want to remind you about our upcoming EVA Virtual Summit on April 25th. It's global, it's virtual, and it's empowering. You can attend from anywhere in the world, and it is going to be an action-packed day with sessions from women leaders on technology, leadership, and entrepreneurship. So make sure you get your tickets ASAP. Now today, I'm excited to have a very special guest on our show, Meha Grover. Meha is a versatile business leader with experience across consulting, e-commerce, and technology. She's worked with some of the leading global organizations like Gallup Consulting, Goldman Sachs, and Socialite Generale. Meha is passionate about creating an inclusive workplace environment, is one of the key members of the EVOW family as well. Hi Meha, welcome to the show.
Hi Rashim, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
Meha, you have a diverse background, consulting, investing, e-commerce, and now you are a CEO at Socialite Generale. Was this career strategy that you created or it just happened?
So, my career is something that Sheryl Sandberg refers in her book as jungle gym. And that teaches you to take risks, make informed decisions, but most importantly, get out of your comfort zone. This risk-taking ability just doesn't come to me without a context. So I would give you a little bit context into my childhood because that's where it all began. Like every other Indian middle-class family, I come from a very middle-class family in India. For us, summer vacations used to be visiting grandparents, no fancy holidays as such, but we went to the best of schools within our means. Unlike some of our cousins or extended family who were from the NYUs or the Harvards of the world. And that actually gave me a purpose to make it big and make name for yourself. So keeping that always at the back of my mind, I tried to leverage and capitalize every opportunity that came my way. I started my career at Goldman Sachs. The best thing to happen as a postgraduate in information technology is to be a developer, right? I started my career as that. When I thought I was getting saturated, I moved on to do my MBA from ISB, then went into consulting, did fashion e-commerce, investment banking, and now I'm at Societe Generale. So the way, if you look at my career, it is not that I specialize in something, it's about the risk ability, be able to see what's the vision that the leaders are trying to show you and try and create opportunities that will place you in a position that you really foresee for yourself. So was it planned? The overall agenda was planned or the roadmap was planned, but the milestones weren't. So milestones are something that I created along the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's interesting you mentioned that because one of the key things I think that's becoming important nowadays is the ability to take risks with the opportunities that are coming up. If you're not a risk taker, you tend to box yourself into something that might not give you happiness or joy in the long term, right?
Exactly. Very, very true. So it's very important that you are able to decide for yourself what works for you, because what's worked for me or say for you or for others might not work for everyone. And it's not a one size fits all. It's very custom made.
Correct. So Meha, I often talk about how important it is to have sponsors, and I think you and I connected over sponsors and mentors as well long time back. So I want to understand from you about your experience with sponsors and how has sponsorship helped you in your career?
Very true. I mean, I remember that post that you put up on LinkedIn, and we connected over that post. And post that there has been no end to the ideas that have been flowing in, right? For me, I think if you look at the career graph that I've had, I don't think it would have been possible without having sponsors. And when I say sponsors, I don't mean mentors. Mentors are somebody who will listen to your crib stories, will help you solve problems. But sponsors are people who, like you mentioned in one of your podcasts, they are the people who will pitch you for the right job at the right place and time. Now, I have been lucky that most of my managers have been my sponsors. They looked at what I brought to the table, they positioned me correctly, and they pushed my name forward for the right job at the right time. I still clearly remember my first manager. He's the one who actually molded me into what I am today professionally. So kudos to him, and really big thanks to him for what I am, where I am today. But having said that, I think it is very important that while we look for sponsors, we at different stages of our career also have an opportunity of becoming sponsors and helping others to grow faster. So maybe we'll have to look at how do we balance while looking at sponsors and also becoming sponsors, even if that means very small circle of influence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and part of it is, I mean, I often talk about how I waited too long to give back to the community with EVOW initiative. I have now realized that you can give back at any stage in your life. There's so much change that needs to happen, that every little step counts. And that has been my learning. So when you bring up being sponsors, that's important too, and being sponsors early on in your career and not waiting to hit that C level or an exec level before you can start being sponsors to other emerging women leaders.
Absolutely.
So Meha, as you mentioned before, you and I actually connected over LinkedIn, and since then our conversations have led to many ideas to make this world an equal place. Isn't it amazing how when you put your intentions out there, you start attracting the right people with the same goals in your network, and then the conversation grow into ideas, and ideas become initiatives?
Oh, absolutely. I think networking is one of the best things that one can leverage, not just professionally, but personally as well. And with the day and age we are in, LinkedIn, social media, or any form of communication, and for that matter, thanks to the EVOW platform, I think we connected through that platform, right?
Yeah.
That platform, I think, has given many women leaders, and not just women, when I say, I mean men and women equally, an opportunity to come forward and support, because without having men as your allies, I don't think it's going to be an equal world, right? So it's equally important to have both of them, and hence I think EVOW platform is playing an important role. To give you another example, I lead the Persons with Disabilities chapter in my organization here in India, and I learned it through them that having a community, having a network, and having the ability to talk to each other about what they're going through, how can they communicate about the different initiatives, because what ends up happening, and I had seen it as a sponsor for, or as a lead for the PWD chapter in my organization, that we would think from our perspective what initiatives work best for PWD. But when we started networking with them, we created a community. They came forward and said, this doesn't work for us. Why don't you do something else? Why don't you tweak it this way or that way? And that helped generate ideas which were more effective, and also people really appreciated those. They leveraged those and they appreciated those, right? So I think networking has no alternative. It is something that every person has to have. And I think in one of the researchers, HBR also mentioned that it is extremely important to have a network. And with network, it meant your allies, your inner circle of influence, your mentors, your sponsors, connecting back to the previous comment that we were talking about. So networking has no alternative.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, with social media, it has become easier to have to network, to connect with people, but it does take conscious nurturing, and constant constant nurturing to build those networks into fruitful collaborations.
Oh, absolutely. And I think when you say conscious effort, you're bang on, because a lot of us feel a little uncomfortable getting out of our comfort zone and going and talking to people beyond the work milestones. And when there are a lot of people in my organization who say, oh, let's go for a smoke break. But, I was on a panel the other day, and one of the participants asked, oh, I don't smoke, I don't go for smoke breaks, but decisions get made there. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. You can always go for a coffee break post the smoke, right? So it is important that you get out of that comfort zone into a little bit of an uncomfortable situation for a larger good. And you will find yourself in a situation which is much more comforting than you thought earlier. So yeah, it is a very conscious effort that's needed.
So what advice do you have, Meha, for the emerging women leaders who look up to you or are planning to carve out a successful career and don't want to wait for 20 years in a job to become a COO?
So I think I would just pick up the first point, that the last point that we said just right now as the first point: network. That's the most important thing. And in your network, have very diverse kind of people who are your allies, people who are your inner circle of influence, your mentors and your sponsors. So have that network very, very strong and very early on in the career. Second, I would say, take risk. It's okay to put your hand up for things where you think it's a long shot and you might be like a 70-80% match. It's okay not to be perfect. But it is important that you put your hand up, because what you can't see, you will never be able to achieve. So it is important that you are able to visualize yourself into that position of leadership. Third one is getting a work-life integration. I know a lot of people would debate this. They talk about work-life balance, but I think it is important that in the day and age we are in, we can't be in a 9-to-5 job. I know there are industries which still require us to be in a 9-to-5 job, but having said that, it is important that while you do your job and you're ever connected world, you also take time for yourself and work on your hobbies, your passion, what's your priority. And Rashim, I remember your post on LinkedIn that talked about how you prioritized your personal life at a certain stage after not doing it for so many years of your career. So that, and last but not the least, be true to your values. Each one of us are wired very, very differently. So each one of us have our different values. It is important that we're true to our values, because if we are not true to them, and these values manifest themselves in different ways in different contexts, but if we are not true to them, we feel extremely uncomfortable, disengaged, and there is a sense of unaccomplishedness which really doesn't take us too far. So be true to your values.
Yeah, and I really like the fact that you mentioned about the hobbies and having passion areas outside of job, because I think we put too much pressure on our job to keep us happy all the time, which is impossible in this VUCA world, right? And like you, I also grew up in a family where there was so much emphasis on studying and marks and making a name for yourself, that I never had an opportunity to explore my passion or my hobbies. And I really started doing that when I started working and found my passion in writing. And even then it was writing related to work, but it took me so long to identify what gave me real joy. And once you figure that out, you realize that your relationship with your job becomes a lot better, because then you're not putting that pressure on your job to keep you happy all the time.
Exactly. Very, very true. I mean, having a hobby or having something that you love doing while you manage your job, I think that gives you a perfect balance, and you respect both of them equally then.
Mm-hmm. So what's next for Meha?
What's next for me? I live in the moment. and I enjoy doing that. But having said that, I don't get my eyes off the purpose that I mentioned earlier, to make it big, make myself known in the industry, and be successful.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, keeping that in mind, I think I want to work towards making it bigger, solving bigger problems, expanding my circle of influence, and most importantly, giving back whenever and wherever I get an opportunity.
Well, I'm rooting for you, girl. I'm so excited for you and our EVOW initiative. Thanks for being on the show and sharing your thoughts with the EVOW family.
Thank you so much, Rashim. It was lovely being on the show and lovely talking to you.
And today's resource for you is the link to the EVOW Virtual Summit. The link is in the show notes. Make sure to spread the word. Join us on this EVOW Virtual Summit. Be in your pajamas, grab a cup of coffee, and listen to the leaders who talk about technology, leadership, and entrepreneurship on April 25th, which is a Saturday. And in this time when we are all together fighting with COVID-19, stay safe, stay healthy, and be in your home watching this summit and still connecting with everybody. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for loving, liking, supporting, and sharing the podcast. Remember, sharing is caring. I love your feedback, emails, and messages, so please keep them coming. I look forward to seeing you again in our next podcast. Till then, keep empowering the world.